Well, boys, she's beginning to look like a tractor again. I got my front end all put together. And I've got new bushings in there. And I don't know, it isn't. Oh, I guess I forgot to tappy it on real good. So now that's tappy good. The only thing that's loose in this front end, basically, well, despite this little thingamajigger being loose, is the actual wheel bushings. But other than that, it's a real much tighter system. And I've got the cutting deck reinstalled, leveling, not quite yet. But you know, it's all together, and the only thing that's holding me back at this point from throwing the hood on and throwing some gas in her and starting her up is swapping the engine. And you know, I actually owe an apology to Jeremy Lee about when I got the Yamaha part. He later told me that video was bullshit because he wasn't the one who pulled the engine apart. It was the guy who he was with when he dropped it off. And you know what, Jeremy, I'm sorry about that. My deepest apologies. And you know, it's just been a lot of crazy freaking work. You know what, Jeremy? When you get into the world of business, hardware and stuff like engine mounting bolts and, say, crankshaft bolts that are supposed to bolt these pulleys on, especially with that lawn tractor when you know, gave it to me in pieces, it should have had the really long ass bolt. Fortunately, I did not get that one, so it should always be included. So I'm not going to pay $10 for something I should have already had. You know, it's friggin' ridiculous. But, yeah, so there's that, and I never gave you a good look at the 16 horse, if I'm correct. But, it's a Briggs & Stratton Industrial Commercial Platinum 16 horsepower overhead valve, turbo cool. Says it runs cooler, but the only reason they say that is because they've opened up the opening in the shroud where the air goes in, and they've put this little freaky screen on it. I find that just ridiculous, you know, because I could easily mod mine to be turbo cool just by putting on some, like, removing this and putting a fan blade on there. You know, like some modified fan blade, you know, like off of that, you know, just flip her around to make it force air into her, and it'd definitely run a heck of a lot cooler. But I worked on a mower once that a guy basically made this plate that goes on there to warm up the engine real good, as in get it hot, and then rip that freaking cover off, and you could hear the of the suction. So yeah, but I have actually got some stuff for sale. I have one Mikuni carb. This one I know for sure is, well, as soon as I get the freaking throttle cable, well, yeah, I forgot I attached it to some stupid useless. Yeah, with cables included. It's really good bore. Really nice, clean carb. You can hear everything's working inside of it. It's good carb, very good carb. It actually works. I've tested it before. That's why I threw a throttle cable on as well. So, yeah, but it came undone. So, good clean carb works. I have another Mikuni carb. And this is how you verify if they're Mikuni or not. Look for that little M, and that's Mikuni. So, it's another good Mikuni. I have tested this as well. Tested it on someone's little Ford Flathead, I guess. He had some weird manifold, and we threw it on, and it works. I didn't do footage of it because, well, he wants to stay secret for a while, I guess. And what else is on the list? Oh yeah, the Yamaha 570s up for sale. comes with a little extra hardware. The only thing that I see missing is 2 little head bolts. Just go to a hardware store with one of these, you know. Just be like, hey, I need one of these. I'm sure they'll have what you need. Look for, and just say it's a head bolt. No big deal. I have had the head tested and looked at. It is watertight. It does hold. There's one spot on a piston that looks a little sluggish. That looks like it may have needed to be resurfaced, but it works. I've turned the grip warmer into lights. All you gotta do is just connect it with a special harness, I guess. And it comes with complete harness, some rad hoses, carbs, pump for the fuel pump. Comes with this part of the clutch if you want, you know, the rest of it, you know, if you want the rest of the clutch, like the belt and anything else, or like this is the driver, if you want the driven end of the clutch, you know, just ask, and you know, you can. Yeah, and I can't ship it. It's just too expensive for me to ship it. If you really want it, you have to come pick it up. But yeah. Oh, little thing to keep in mind. I somehow messed up the pins in there, and you could basically start this thing with a screwdriver. But it has a good coil, has a whole good harness. I tested the harness, so that's nice. You got your basic cluster, you know, RPM, speedometer, various other stuff. With oil pump, I reinstalled it because I thought I was just gonna bypass everything, but pull on this, it's good. So, for sale, and these carbs are for sale. Contact me for prices. So, yeah, I'll chat at you later.